I'm Danica Patrick, and I'm pretty intense. You're an advocate of psychedelics and plant medicine.
Again, am I an advocate of open relationship? I don't know, maybe if it's right for you. Am I an advocate of plant medicine? I don't know, maybe if it's right for you. It's a very personal choice. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of times these plant medicines are trials by fire. And are you ready for a trial by fire?
Why are you interested in it? Like, what made you interested in the first place?
Well, because I'm not easily, taught. I'm kind of like, I needed something big to show me. Like, I came into my first vision quest, which was a psilocybin vision quest in the mountains of New Mexico. I came into that, and I was a staunch atheist. I was like, when you die, you die. You're dead. What does it matter? Like, there's no soul. There's no anything like that. Like, sure. I was so sure. But I had enough like curiosity and also reverence for the Native American culture that I was like, okay, vision quest, cool. That sounds good. I'm just leaving high school. Sounds like something that like something that a young warrior should do. So I decided that vision quest was for me, and I meet this beautiful, shaman out in New Mexico, and it's like, we're gonna have psilocybin tea, and I'm like, oh God! So I grabbed a rock from the.
And this is your first time ever
with anything. Grabbed a rock from the driveway, and I was like, as long as I hold this rock, I'll know that I'm still here, embodied in this life, and I was like totally freaked out. And then what ended up happening was, up to that point, the most beautiful experience of my life. I felt my body evaporate, and I felt what could only be described as my consciousness, my awareness, or my soul exist independent of my body. And I was like, oh shit, I got some things wrong. Like, I didn't think there was this thing that I'm experiencing in its purest form. I didn't even think this existed. And that moment of complete reevaluation of everything that I had believed was what led me down the path. And so it gave me faith in the process, gave me faith that these plants could be used as teachers for someone as stubborn and sure that he was right as I was, and completely shift my perspective. And that is, to be fair, I say this isn't for everyone, but the clinical research that's coming out is showing pretty reliable data that psilocybin in the right set and setting at the right dose is reliably creating some of these top life experiences for human beings. So yes, it isn't for everyone, but it's probably for more of us than not.
Well, when you just look at the, you look at how many people die from alcohol or, synthetic drugs that are prescribed to them versus natural plant medicines.
There's not even a comparison.
It's not even a comparison. It's zero, right? I mean, I think there's a statistic on marijuana that it's zero. Like, nobody's died from ingesting it, like taking it in, right?
Correct.
There's never been a death. Has there been a death from any, like, can you OD on psilocybin?
You can definitely take more than you should.
But it won't.
But it's not. Yeah, the toxic effects are at such a level that that's not really what the issue is. It can be psychologically very traumatic if you take too much. But
so the question is, why was it ever illegal in the first place when these are natural products?
Well, I think people regulate against the things that they're scared of themselves, and when the ego is in control, right? The ego is firmly in control. It's scared of the reevaluation. It's scared of losing its power seat running the human organism, right? It's almost like an entity that itself wants to survive by the belief of the organism that it exists in. Like, the ego wants to be real. Like, I want to be a real boy. It's like fucking like Pinocchio or whatever. Like, I'm going to be a real, I'm going to be a real boy. And that's what the ego says. And it's like, oh, this thing, psilocybin, might show the embodied consciousness of the being that I'm residing in, that I'm not really that real. I'm just kind of a temporary apparition that is operating within this organism. So, well, what's the ego going to do? Well, if the ego's running the ship, maybe it can convince other people to outlaw this thing and villainize it and make it illegal. I don't think it's this grand conspiracy to keep people down and to keep people stupid. Like, people have these big conspiracy theories. I think people just regulate against the stuff that they're afraid of.
Okay.
And so people who have strong egos were afraid of these things that were ego dissolving. And so, we outlawed those. But the consequences of that are that we don't have the tools to really resolve the traumas and really unwind some of these patterns. And I think that's the revolution that's coming with this next wave of psychedelic medicine.